Everyone is fundamentally mistaken about how high XRP can really climb. You've been told three-digit XRP is fantasy impossible, requiring $1 trillion market cap. What if I told you that skepticism is built on obsolete math, and that XRP is sitting on the biggest hidden price multiplier in financial history? Welcome back to XRP RADAR, the channel delivering the validated data behind the financial revolution about to shock the world. In today's deep dive, I'm walking you through an analysis that will permanently alter your perception of XRP's valuation. For the first time, we have clear data showing precisely how little capital needs to enter the system to trigger explosive price discovery. The required capital is nowhere near what mainstream analysts project. We are witnessing scenarios where minute capital inflows trigger monumental price increases. Once you grasp this, you'll understand why XRP represents one of the most asymmetric opportunities in market history. Before we explore the numbers, if you are a valued member of the XRP Radar community, hit the subscribe button and activate notifications. Every like and subscription pushes the factual XRP story out globally. That validation is crucial right now. All right, let's address the fundamental error. For years, analysts have viewed price potential solely through the rigid lens of market capitalization. They assume $1 of inflow equals a $1 increase in market cap. This fails to capture how highly elastic the crypto market is. Prices don't move with demand, they amplify demand. When we examine XRP's unique liquidity framework, that price acceleration becomes extreme. Recently, two respected figures, Chad Steinraber and Zach Rector, conducted a real-world experiment that changes the entire narrative. Chad was tracking the capital required to initiate visible movements. What he documented was astounding. In one specific 30-minute window, a net inflow of $4.78 million shifted XRP's price by 5 cents. That is minimal capital, yet it resulted in tens of millions of dollars in market cap growth. It forces you to dismiss the old logic. Zach Rector took this data and applied rigorous financial modeling. He sought to quantify the multiplier effect, how dramatically XRP's market cap expands for every dollar that enters. After calculation, he identified an incredible range of 5 to 98x market cap multiplier. Let that sink in. For every $10 in demand, the market cap has the potential to expand by approximately $598. This isn't speculation, this is derived from live trading data. It shows how sensitive XRP's price structure is to buying pressure. Even a conservative view shows how dramatically XRP reacts. This proves many relying on antiquated financial models fail to understand XRP's design. We are breaking the illusion of low price ceilings. Now that we understand the multiplier, let's talk about its real-world application. Institutional inflows are no longer hypothetical. The gates are opening. A $100 million injection, minor capital for a hedge fund, could potentially expand the total market cap by nearly $60 billion based on this ratio. This completely dismantles the notion that $1 trillion in fresh capital is required. We need only a strategic fraction. This is exactly what the leadership at Ripple, particularly CEO Brad Garlinghouse, has been preparing the company for. The convergence of ETFs, institutional adoption, and regulatory clarity is happening right now. The chance of an XRP ETF going live in 2026 is now over 70%. An ETF provides traditional finance with compliant exposure, translating to billions in potential inflows. The price action hasn't reflected this yet because of one critical factor, Ripple's escrow system. Ripple has strategically sold XRP over the counter to large buyers. This prevents massive purchases from hitting the open market and vaporizing the price. Accumulation is managed discreetly. But this luxury is temporary. Ripple's escrow supply is finite and shrinking. Once that deep OTC supply is gone, institutions will have no alternative but to source their demand directly from the open market. This is when the multiplier effect goes nuclear. When you combine trillions in latent institutional demand with a shrinking public supply and no OTC buffer, the market is forced to dramatically re-rate XRP to reflect its true utility. Brad Garlinghouse and his team understand liquidity, and they have positioned XRP for this precise moment. This is where the narrative shifts completely. The countdown to the escrow supply shock is underway, set to send XRP into a price eruption. When those final reserves of escrow are gone, institutions must compete with everyone on public exchanges. That is when the thin order books are erased, prices gap instantly, and the 598x multiplier becomes a market reality. The setup on the charts, that large, bullish, symmetrical triangle, mirrors the quiet accumulation before the 2017 explosion. This time, the fundamentals are stronger. We have global utility, institutional infrastructure, and the validation provided by key figures like Brad Garlinghouse. We are watching the transformation of the global financial system, and XRP is at its core. While the rest of the world debates $10, those who understand the mechanics already know the outcome. XRP isn't waiting for permission, it's waiting for ignition. This is your XRP radar update. Stay focused, stay informed, and remember, the early believers are the ones who change their lives forever.